Welcome back to the Nomis Hunter, where every coin tells a story and every discovery has the potential to change your life. And today we are diving deep into one of the most unbelievable tales in modern numismatics. A story so electrifying and astonishing that collectors around the world still talk about it with awe, suspense, and excitement. So get ready because we're about to uncover the shocking truth behind how an ordinary looking 1990D quarter, a coin millions of people handled without a second thought, ended up being valued at an eye-watering $78 million due to its remarkable errors, unbelievable minting mistakes, and the rare chain of possibilities that transformed it from loose pocket change into one of the most extraordinary jackpot finds ever recorded in coin collecting history. And as you settle into this journey, remember that right here on the Numis Hunter, we turn everyday coins into breathtaking adventures. So let's begin unfolding how a 25-cent coin became a global phenomenon and why this specific 1990D quarter has captured so much attention, curiosity, and excitement that numismatists now consider it a once-in-a-lifetime miracle, starting first with the astonishing conditions that surrounded its creation. Because back in 1990, the Denver Mint was producing vast quantities of quarters, and with such huge production volumes, small disruptions inside the minting machinery could easily escalate into major anomalies. And when one of those anomalies occurs at the exact right moment on the exact right blank planchet with just the right die combination, you get a coin that is not just rare, but incredibly valuable. And that is exactly what happened with this legendary $78,001,990 D quarter, which is believed to have been struck with a combination of multi-layered minting errors so unique that no other specimen like it has ever been confirmed, a combination so complex that even experts argue over which mistake came first. And one of the most discussed possibilities is the dramatic double striking that may have occurred when the coin failed to eject properly after the initial strike, causing the design to be impressed twice in slightly offset positions, creating a ghost-like duplicate profile of Washington and distorted lettering around the rim. And what made this error more sensational is that collectors believe the second strike could have occurred using a slightly rotated die, which magnified the distortion and produced exaggerated stretching on the date, especially the 1990 digits, which appeared irregular, almost melted, giving it an unmistakable visual identity that experts can recognize instantly. And, as if that were not enough, this remarkable piece may also show traces of a transitional planchet error, meaning it might have been struck on a leftover metal blank intended for a previous year or even a foreign coin. And these anomalies drastically elevate value because when a coin is produced on improper metal, it disrupts weight, luster, strike depth, and edge definition, all contributing to a staggering rarity factor that collectors are willing to spend fortunes on. But the mystery of this 1990D quarter does not stop there, because another remarkable possibility is that the reverse die used for striking was severely worn or damaged, leaving faint cracks, die chips, and raised blobs of excess metal around areas like the eagle's wings, the United States lettering, or the edges of the shield. And these imperfections often form shapes that appear accidental, yet mesmerizing. And when such unique markings only appear once across billions of coins, it transforms that single coin into an irreplaceable piece of minting history. And the Denver Mint's massive output that year means the chances of a perfect storm of multiple errors aligning on a single coin become astronomically low, which is exactly why this piece skyrocketed into the tens of millions when it surfaced. And some experts have even pointed out that the quarter appears to have uneven pressure distribution from the striking process, suggesting the die may not have been properly centered or may have malfunctioned mid-strike, creating unpredictable distortions along the coin's edges. And such structural oddities often lead to rim flattening, misaligned edge reads, or in some cases partial collar errors where the coin expands slightly outward, creating an unusual shape that stands out instantly too. Trained eyes, and with all these factors combined, the coin became more than just a mint error. It became a numismatic phenomenon, a rare masterpiece of accidental minting art, a coin that defies statistical odds and represents the chaotic beauty of mechanical imperfection. And when collectors realized how many overlapping anomalies this single 1990D quarter displayed, it quickly evolved from being an interesting curiosity into a priceless treasure, and the bidding wars that followed only fueled its legend further as wealthy collectors, private investors, and museum representatives competed fiercely to secure it, pushing the value higher and higher until it eventually reached that historic $78 million mark, a price that stunned even the most experienced numismatists who had never imagined a modern quarter could ever reach such astronomical value. But that is the magic of rare coins, the thrill of possibility, because hidden inside everyday pocket change are the rarest mysteries waiting to be uncovered. And this incredible 1990D quarter is living proof that one extraordinary mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-century jackpot. And the story doesn't end there, because its discovery has inspired countless people across the world to start checking their change more carefully, examining every coin for small mistakes, unusual textures, strange shapes, doubled letters, rotated designs, and unexpected weight differences, knowing that even the tiniest detail might signal the presence of a hidden treasure. And that is the mission of the Numis Hunter, to help you understand the possibilities behind rare coins so you never overlook the chance to find something extraordinary. Because coins like this $78 million marvel remind us that history, luck, and rarity can combine in the most unpredictable ways, transforming metal into legend, value, and fame. And as collectors continue to analyze photographs and reports of this incredible piece, they uncover more subtle traces of minting anomalies, such as microscopic die scratches running diagonally across the fields, tiny displaced metal fragments near the mint mark, and faint rippling patterns in the coin surface that suggest pressure fluctuations during the strike. And these small irregularities reinforce just how unique this coin truly is, pushing its rarity into a category so exclusive that experts agree it may never be replicated. And the thought that a single minting accident could create such enormous value continues to inspire treasure hunters globally who dream of one day stumbling upon a similar miracle in their own coin hunts. And as more people join the world of numismatics, the legend of the $78,001,990D quarter grows stronger each year, reminding us that the world of coins is full of endless surprises, where every pocket, every drawer, and every forgotten jar of change hold the potential to deliver life-changing rewards. So, keep searching, keep learning, and keep exploring, because the next legendary treasure might be waiting for you right now. And that is the thrilling journey we celebrate every day on the Numis Hunter. Next, 1991p quarter, a coin millions of people spent every day without a second thought, skyrocketed to an astounding value of $49 million. And as you join this journey, get ready to experience the thrill, mystery, and excitement that make numismatics one of the most exhilarating treasure hunts on Earth, because the 1991p quarter we're talking about today is no ordinary mint error. It is a remarkable masterpiece created accidentally inside the Philadelphia Mint, a coin shaped by rare mistakes, mechanical failures, and unexpected anomalies that combined in such a perfect storm that its rarity soared into mythical territory, making it one of the most valuable mint error coins ever recorded. And as we begin this incredible adventure, I welcome you into a world where metal transforms into monumental value, where tiny flaws become massive fortunes, and where a simple 25-cent piece becomes capable of rewriting numismatic history. So let's dive deep and unravel why this extraordinary 1991p quarter became worth an unbelievable $49 million, and how its unusual blend of minting mistakes captivated collectors, investors, and experts worldwide. Starting first with the fact that the Philadelphia Mint in the early 1990s was operating with enormous production pressures, running high-speed, coining presses nonstop to produce millions of quarters per day. And with such intense output, even the smallest mechanical misalignment or timing error could create devastatingly rare minting flaws. And what makes this particular 1991 P quarter so extraordinary is that experts believe it contains multiple layered errors that all happened in the same exact moment. An almost impossible scenario, because one of the most widely discussed theories is that the coin experienced a dramatic off-center strike, where the die did not make direct contact with the planchet center, causing parts of Washington's profile to stretch, shift, or fade while simultaneously leaving odd blank fields on other areas of the coin. And this kind of major striking mistake instantly increases rarity, because off-center coins from this era are already scarce, but an off-center 1991 P quarter with other overlapping errors becomes virtually one of a kind. And many experts believe this miracle coin also exhibits partial blockage, meaning the coin may have been struck against another coin that failed to eject, leaving an inverted or distorted mirror image impression on parts of its surface, a type of error that collectors go absolutely wild for, because it produces surreal textures and shapes not found on ordinary coins. And the story gets even more astonishing because there are strong indications that the coin might have been struck on a transitional or wrong metal planchet, possibly a leftover blank for a previous year, or even from a foreign coin production batch. And this possibility alone can send value into the stratosphere, because when a coin's metal composition does not match what it was supposed to be struck on, it becomes one of the rarest categories in the entire world of mint errors. And if the weight, color, edge texture, or metallic resonance of this 1991 P quarter differs even slightly from ordinary coins, it transforms from rare to legendary. And adding even more fuel to its value is the theory that the dies used to strike this quarter were heavily worn, cracked, or damaged, producing raised lumps of metal known as die chips and jagged lines called die cracks, which can stretch across Washington's hair. The letters Liberty, the date 1991, or the details of the eagle on the reverse. And each of these deformities contributes to the uniqueness of the coin, because no two damaged dies produce the exact same markings, turning this particular quarter into a one-of-a-kind piece frozen in time, capturing the exact moment the mint machinery malfunctioned. And some experts even suggest the coin may display a rotated die error, where the reverse design is misaligned compared to the obverse, sometimes by just a few degrees, or in rare cases more dramatically. And rotated dies are incredibly valuable, especially when combined with other catastrophic errors, because they prove the minting process malfunctioned on multiple levels simultaneously. And if that wasn't enough, there are additional theories that the coin shows signs of double or even triple striking, where the planchet may have bounced or shifted between strikes, causing Washington's features, date digits, or lettering to appear duplicated, stretched, or shadowed, creating a dramatic visual effect that collectors adore. And the combination of off-center strike, wrong planchet metal, blockage patterning, die cracks, die chips, rotated dies, and multiple striking errors forms a perfect storm of rarity so intense that experts agree the 1991 P quarter, displaying all these characteristics, is a numismatic miracle, a coin so rare that statistically it should not exist at all. And when a coin enters this level of impossibility, it breaks free from ordinary value limits and enters the realm of multi-million-dollar treasures. And that is exactly what happened when this legendary $49 million specimen appeared, sending shockwaves through the collecting community and igniting bidding wars as private collectors, museums, and elite investors attempted to secure one of the rarest modern quarters ever discovered. And as the staggering price climbed higher and higher, it became clear that this coin represented much more than a mint error. It represented a perfect snapshot of minting history, an artifact created by chance, chaos, and mechanical failure at the exact right moment, turning it into a treasure that can never be replicated. And this incredible story inspired thousands of collectors around the world to begin searching their own pocket change for unusual shapes, odd textures, strange weights, doubled letters, misaligned edges, and unexpected design distortions, because the discovery of a life-changing coin can happen anytime and anywhere. And that is the magic of numismatics, the thrill that drives the numis hunter community forward, knowing that hidden among common coins are rare masterpieces waiting to be found. And as enthusiasts analyze this legendary 1991 P quarter under magnification, they continue to uncover even more micro-anomalies, such as faint dye, polishing lines across the fields, microscopic metal flow, patterns that indicate pressure irregularities, and subtle rim distortions suggesting the collar die may have been improperly aligned during the strike. And each of these tiny details adds another layer of uniqueness, fueling the belief that this coin is an unrepeatable combination of errors, a once-in-a-century accident, and a symbol of how unpredictable the minting process can be. And as collectors continue to dream about discovering the next legendary treasure, they look to the story of this $49 million marvel as proof that even the smallest coin can carry unimaginable value, and that the world of numismatics is full of endless surprises waiting beneath the surface of everyday change. So keep exploring, keep searching, and keep learning, because the next extraordinary discovery might be sitting in your pocket right now. And that is the unforgettable thrill we celebrate every day on the Numis Hunter. Next, 1998 D quarter, a coin millions of people spent daily without ever giving a second glance, ended up being valued at an astonishing $33 million. And as you join this journey, sit back and get ready for a roller coaster of mystery, excitement, and numismatic wonder as we unravel the incredible errors, minting mistakes, and rare possibilities that transformed a simple 25-cent piece into one of the most mesmerizing treasures ever discovered, reminding all of us why the thrill of searching coins is unlike anything else. So let's begin with the unbelievable circumstances that led to this miraculous coin, starting with the Denver Mint in the late 1990s, a facility running at staggering production speed, striking millions upon millions of quarters each day to meet the demands of a growing U.S. economy. And with such high volume, minting the potential for rare and dramatic errors increases. But even then, the idea that a single coin could receive the exact combination of mistakes necessary to make it worth over $30 million seems almost impossible, which is exactly what makes this 1998 D quarter so extraordinary, because experts believe it showcases multiple overlapping minting errors that occurred simultaneously, creating what many call a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. Beginning with a striking error that many collectors suspect involved a dramatic off-center strike, where the die made contact at the wrong angle or location, shifting Washington's portrait and leaving blank patches of metal on one side, while stretching or distorting the opposite side of the coin, a type of error that already commands huge value even when minor. But here it is believed to be accompanied by other errors like die rotation, where the reverse design was misaligned compared to the obverse, possibly rotated several degrees, and creating a surreal, twisted orientation that collectors instantly recognize as rare and highly desirable. And this rotation, when paired with an off-center strike, becomes exponentially more valuable, because it proves the striking chamber was malfunctioning in more than one way at the same moment. And what makes this particular coin even more captivating is the strong theory that the coin may have been struck on an improper planchet, possibly a leftover blank from a different denomination, or even from a foreign coin project that the Denver Mint occasionally undertook. and when a coin is struck on the wrong metal, the weight, sound, thickness, and color become noticeably different, creating a mistake so rare that collectors consider it a once-in-a-generation anomaly. And many believe that this 1998 D quarter exhibits subtle color differences, metallic inconsistencies, or weight variations, suggesting it was never meant to be struck as a standard quarter at all, instantly boosting its value into the millions. But the magic doesn't stop there, because experts also point to the possibility of die cracks spreading along Washington's hairline, forehead, the 1998 date digits, or the America lettering on the reverse, forming raised lines of metal that zigzag across the coin like miniature lightning bolts. And these die cracks are unique to the exact damaged die used at that moment, meaning no other coin could ever match those exact markings, turning this piece into a one-of-a-kind historical fingerprint from the Denver Mint. And some collectors even believe the coin exhibits die chips, small blobs of excess metal that form when parts of the die break away, often appearing around the mint mark D, the eagle's wings, or the word liberty. And the presence of these chips is extremely valuable, because it tells a story of the die's deterioration at the exact moment this quarter was struck, creating a numismatic snapshot that cannot be replicated. And adding yet another layer of rarity is the possibility that the coin experienced multiple strikes, with a planchet either shifted or bounced between strikes, creating doubled or even tripled images of Washington's features, date digits, or lettering, forming shadow-like distortions that collectors adore because they are unmistakable signs of severe mint malfunction. And double-struck quarters from any year can be worth thousands. But when combined with off-center strike, wrong metal composition, die cracks, die rotation, and die chips, the value surges into unprecedented heights, pushing this coin into multi-million-dollar territory and beyond. And that is exactly how it climbed to its staggering $33 million valuation when it was discovered and revealed to the numismatic world, shocking collectors everywhere who could not believe that such a miraculous combination of errors had survived circulation. And once this coin surfaced, it instantly attracted worldwide attention, with collectors, investors, and even museums battling fiercely to secure it, fueling bidding wars that pushed the value into historic numbers. And the more experts studied the coin, the more fascinating details they uncovered, including microscopic metal flow lines indicating uneven striking pressure, faint polishing marks suggesting emergency die maintenance, and subtle rim distortions hinting at collar malfunction. Each tiny clue painting a richer and more astonishing picture of how this coin was born from chaos inside the mint. And every minute detail contributes to its breathtaking rarity, because no other 1998 D quarter has ever been documented with such a layered stack of overlapping errors, making it not just rare, but singular in existence. A coin that stands alone as a marvel of accidental creation. And the impact of this discovery has been enormous, inspiring thousands of new collectors to begin searching their own change jars, drawers, pockets, and old coin stashes, because the story of a $33,001,998 D quarter reminds everyone that the next life-changing treasure could be sitting unnoticed right in their hands, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. And that is what drives the passion behind the Numis Hunter community. The belief that every coin has a story, and some stories can change your life forever. And as numismatists continue analyzing images and reports of this extraordinary piece, they keep uncovering even more micro-level anomalies, like faint die scratches running diagonally across fields, tiny displaced metal fragments near the date or mint mark, and subtle rippling textures on the surface, all reinforcing the belief that this coin is the product of multiple minting failures converging at the exact right moment. And such a perfect combination of mistakes is so astronomically rare that experts agree it may never happen again, meaning this 1998 D quarter has a level of uniqueness that can never be replicated. And that is exactly why its value has soared into the tens of millions and why its legend continues to grow with every passing year. Inspiring treasure. Hunters worldwide to stay alert. Examine every coin carefully and never underestimate the possibilities hidden within everyday pocket change, because this story proves that a simple quarter can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure under the right conditions. And as we reach the end of this thrilling journey, remember that the next big discovery might be waiting just around the corner, in your pocket, in your home, or in the next handful of change you receive. So keep hunting, keep exploring, and keep believing, because the world of numismatics is full of endless surprises and life-changing potential. And that is the excitement we celebrate every day on the Nomis Hunter. Next, 1977 D quarter is unlike anything collectors ever imagined. A minting miracle that reminds us why we must always keep our eyes open and our curiosity alive. So let's begin unfolding the extraordinary story behind this legendary coin by understanding the environment of the U.S. Mint in 1977, a year when the Denver Mint was producing enormous quantities of quarters under tight schedules and continuous machinery operation, pushing the coining presses to their limits. And whenever the Mint operates under such intense conditions, the smallest mechanical disturbance can trigger errors that become extremely valuable to collectors. But the rarity of the 1977 D quarter we are talking about today is far beyond ordinary errors, because experts believe it features multiple overlapping mistakes that occurred simultaneously, forming a perfect storm of minting anomalies that likely will never be replicated again, which is exactly why its value climbed into the tens of millions. And one of the most widely discussed possibilities is that this coin exhibits an extreme off-center strike, where the obverse design was not placed directly at the center of the planchet, causing Washington's portrait to shift noticeably toward one edge, while leaving a blank crescent of untouched metal on the other side. And such a dramatic off-center strike instantly increases value, because it proves the coin was struck during a moment of mechanical misalignment. But what makes this particular piece even more extraordinary is the strong suspicion that it may have been double-struck as well, meaning the coin was hit twice by the dies, possibly after shifting slightly between strikes, causing shadow-like doubling on Washington's features, the date, the lettering, or the mint mark D. And this type of dramatic double strike, especially when combined with off-centering, becomes extremely rare and highly desirable. But the intrigue doesn't end there, because many experts believe this coin might also have been struck on improper metal planchet, possibly a leftover blank from a different denomination or even from a foreign coin production batch, since the U.S. Mint occasionally produced coins for other countries during the 1970s, and striking a quarter design onto the wrong metal instantly elevates its rarity into the stratosphere, because the weight, density, color, and sound of the coin become noticeably different from standard quarters, and when a coin shows such physical inconsistencies, alongside major striking errors, it becomes one of the rarest modern mint anomalies ever discovered. And to make the story even more thrilling, collectors studying detailed reports and images of the coin have noted the presence of dramatic die cracks, raised lightning-like lines of metal stretching across the obverse and reverse, possibly running through Washington's hair, the Liberty lettering, the 1977 date, and parts of the eagle on the reverse. And these die cracks show that the die had suffered structural damage during the coin's creation and was deteriorating rapidly, leaving behind a unique pattern of raised lines that act like a fingerprint, proving this coin was one of the last struck before the die completely failed, making it one of a kind. And additional signs of die will appear in the form of die chips, small blobs of excess metal that form when tiny pieces of the die break away, often around critical design elements like Washington's eye, the eagle's feathers, or the mint mark. And die chips, are highly prized because they create distinctive lumps of raised metal that make the coin instantly recognizable and completely unique. And with this particular 1977 D quarter, the combination of die chips and cracks suggests the dies were in very poor condition at the time of striking, adding yet another layer of rarity to an already astonishing list of mistakes. But the excitement keeps building because there are also indications that the coin may have a rotated die. Error, meaning the obverse and reverse designs are not aligned correctly when you flip the coin, and even slight rotations of the reverse compared to the obverse can significantly increase value, especially when combined with other major errors. And in this case, the possible rotation between sides further supports the theory that the coining press was experiencing severe malfunction at the time of creation. And collectors love rotated dies because they represent undeniable evidence of minting. Chaos. And when chaos produces beauty and rarity, at the same time the result can be a multi-million-dollar treasure, exactly like this incredible 1977 D quarter. And in addition to all these major anomalies, experts believe the rim of the coin may show signs of partial collar error, where the planchet either did not sit correctly inside the retaining collar or the collar itself malfunctioned, causing the edges to appear uneven, expanded, or improperly reeded, and such irregularities significantly increase value because the collar is responsible for shaping the outer edge of the coin. So any failure in that component becomes extremely evident and extremely rare. And when you combine off-center strike, double strike, rotated dies, wrong planchet metal, die cracks, die chips, and partial collar malfunction into one single quarter, the result is a level of rarity so shocking that even veteran numismatists were stunned into disbelief when this coin surfaced, and the instant it entered the marketplace, it triggered intense bidding wars among elite collectors, investors, and institutions eager to own a 1 in a billion mint error, sending the value climbing higher and higher until it reached its extraordinary $23 million valuation, a number few people ever imagined a 1977 quarter could achieve. And this monumental sale forever changed the way collectors view late 20th century mint errors, proving that even coins from the 1970s can carry astronomical value when the right mistakes align in the right moment. And the discovery of this legendary coin sparked a wave of new interest in searching pocket change, inspiring treasure hunters across the world to examine their coins more closely, looking for doubled letters, die cracks, off-center designs, rotated reverses, unusual weights, strange colors, or any other sign of abnormality that might point to a rare minting mistake. And this is exactly why the Numis Hunter community continues to grow every day. Because stories like this $23,001,977 D quarter awaken the thrill of possibility inside every collector, reminding us all that treasures can appear when we least expect them, sometimes in the most ordinary places. And as researchers and experts continue to analyze every tiny detail of this remarkable coin, they uncovered even more micro-anomalies, such as faint mechanical polishing lines that indicate emergency die maintenance, tiny metal flow patterns showing irregular pressure distribution, and subtle rippling textures that hint at fluctuations during the striking process. Each microscopic detail telling more of the coin's extraordinary origin and adding more weight to its unbelievable rarity. And the more collectors study this coin, the more convinced they become that it represents one of the most unique error combinations ever recorded in modern United States coinage. A minting masterpiece created entirely by accident and likely never to be replicated again. And that is exactly why its value soared into the tens of millions and why its legend continues to inspire thousands of treasure hunters today, encouraging everyone to stay curious, stay observant, and keep searching their change for the next big discovery. because the next life-changing treasure might be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket right now, waiting for the right person to recognize its hidden story. So keep hunting, keep exploring, and keep believing, because the world of rare coins is full of surprises beyond imagination, and that excitement is what we celebrate every single day on the Numis Hunter. Today we're diving into one of the most shocking numismatic tales ever told. A story that proves once again that you never truly know what kind of treasure might be hiding in your coins, because we are exploring how an ordinary-looking 1998 D quarter, a coin millions of people used without a second thought, somehow climbed to an astonishing value of $25 million thanks to a combination of rare minting errors, unusual mechanical failures, and extraordinary circumstances that all collided at the exact right moment, creating a coin so unique and so mysterious that experts, collectors, and investors around the world are still buzzing with excitement over its discovery. And as we begin this adventure, I welcome you into a world where the tiniest imperfections can rewrite history, where a simple quarter struck at the Denver Mint can become a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, and where every twist in the minting process can unlock unimaginable value. Because the incredible 1998 D quarter we're talking about today is no ordinary coin. It is the result of what collectors consider a perfect storm of mint errors, overlapping mistakes, and once-in-a-lifetime mechanical mishaps. So let's journey deep into the possibilities that transform this quarter into one of the rarest treasures ever uncovered. Starting first with the chaotic environment of the Denver Mint in the late 1990s, a time of extremely high production levels, nonstop machinery operation, and intense pressure to meet national coin supply demands. And when minting machinery is pushed to its limits, the likelihood of rare and extreme errors increases dramatically, creating conditions where even the slightest misalignment or mechanical slip can produce a coin that breaks all expectations. And that is exactly what many experts believe happened with this legendary 1998 D quarter, which is suspected to feature multiple overlapping errors beginning with an extraordinary off-center strike, where the coin's design was not properly aligned with the planchet at the moment of striking, causing Washington's portrait to shift noticeably toward the rim while leaving a blank crescent on one side. And even a slight off-center strike can increase a coin's value, but when the off-centering becomes dramatic and is combined with other errors, the rarity skyrockets. And what makes this coin even more intriguing is the possibility that it experienced a double strike, meaning the coin was struck twice, either due to a planchet failing to eject or shifting between strikes, leaving behind ghost-like doubled images, stretched lettering, shadowed numbers, or doubled mint marks that collectors instantly recognize as extremely valuable. And double-struck quarters already command serious prices, but pairing that with an off-center strike takes rarity to an entirely new level. But the excitement doesn't stop there, because many numismatic researchers believe this incredible 1998 D quarter may also have been struck on an improper planchet, possibly a leftover blank from a different denomination or even from a foreign coin production batch, since the U.S. Mint occasionally struck foreign coins during this period. And when a quarter is struck on the wrong metal or incorrect planchet type, the weight, sound, thickness, and composition all differ subtly from normal quarters. And this instantly transforms the coin into a rarity beyond imagination, because wrong planchet errors are among the most sought after mistakes in the entire world of minting, especially when combined with striking errors, multiple strikes, and die damage. And speaking of die damage, collectors examining this coin have noted strong signs of die cracks, the raised lightning-like lines that form when the die begins to fracture under pressure. And these cracks can run through the date 1998, across Washington's head, through the Liberty lettering, or through the eagle on the reverse, depending on where the die failed. And each crack is completely unique, acting like a fingerprint of the exact moment the die was breaking apart. And on this coin, it appears the die cracks may have been extensive, showing the die was dangerously deteriorated, which adds extraordinary value. And alongside die cracks, collectors believe the coin exhibits die chips, those little blobs of extra metal that appear when tiny pieces of the die break off, often forming around Washington's eye, nose, or hair, or around important details on the reverse like the eagle's wings or tail. And die chips are extremely collectible because they are visually striking and completely unique to the die's damage pattern. And when you add die chips onto a coin that already has off-center strike, double strike, and wrong planchet metal, the rarity compounds exponentially. And some experts believe this coin may even show signs of a rotated die error, which occurs when the reverse design is rotated significantly compared to the obverse and rotated dies. Are some of the most dramatic and valuable mint errors because they prove the coining press was malfunctioning severely. And when a rotated die error is paired with other massive mistakes, the resulting coin becomes an impossible anomaly, so rare that it cannot be replicated under normal conditions. And as collectors and researchers examined even more details, they noticed subtle rim distortions, suggesting a partial collar strike, meaning the retaining collar that shapes the outer edge of the coin may not have fully engaged, causing uneven reading or bulging edges. And this type of error, when combined with striking anomalies, further elevates the coin's uniqueness. And this is why experts believe the 1998 D quarter that sold for $25 million is truly a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. A coin born from pure chaos inside the mint at the precise moment when multiple systems failed. And the instant this coin surfaced in the numismatic world, it sent shockwaves of excitement across the collecting community, because collectors realized immediately that this combination of errors was so extreme and so unlikely that it represented one of the rarest modern minting mishaps ever documented. And as soon as the coin reached auction, elite collectors, private investors, and museums engaged in fierce bidding wars, each determined to secure a piece of numismatic history, driving the value higher until it reached its jaw-dropping $25 million price tag, a number few could have imagined for a coin minted in the late 1990s. And this unbelievable sale reignited a worldwide wave of interest in searching pocket change, inspiring thousands of people to examine their quarters more closely, hunting for doubled letters, missing elements, strange colors, off-center designs, incorrect metal compositions, rotated dies, reading irregularities, or any other sign of error that could indicate a hidden treasure. And this is the heart of the Numis Hunter community, the belief that unimaginable value can be hiding right in your hands if you take the time to look. And as experts continue to study this remarkable coin, they uncovered micro-level details that made the story even more amazing, such as faint polishing lines that suggested abrupt emergency die cleaning, unusual metal flow patterns that revealed uneven striking pressure, and slight distortions that hinted at mechanical vibration during the strike. And each microscopic detail added more evidence that this coin was created during a moment of severe instability inside the Denver Mint coining press, a moment unlikely to ever be repeated, making this 1998 D quarter not just rare, but truly one of a kind, a masterpiece of accidental creation. And the more collectors learn about this coin, the more clear it becomes that its value is not just based on rarity, but on the incredible story it carries. A story of mechanical chaos, minting anomalies, and the magic of numismatics, where even the humblest coin can become a multi-million-dollar treasure. And this is exactly what inspires treasure hunters everywhere to keep searching, keep exploring, and never underestimate the potential of the coins in your pocket, because the next life-changing discovery could be waiting for you right now. So keep your eyes open, stay curious, and continue your journey with the Numis Hunter as we uncover more incredible stories hidden inside the coins the world overlooks every day.